Hey everybody, Tyler Parsons back again. Are you curious what Kenny Perry's workout program and Justin Thomas' workout program both have similarities as well as what is different? Stay tuned and we'll dive into it. Let's start with our man KP. Obviously, he's a little bit older than Justin, Justin being one of the young guys out on tour. The difference being, as KP came along, training and golf fitness really was nowhere to be seen. It was more on just talent. Now we know, as Justin's coming up, colleges definitely have their own strength coach, and a lot of junior players are even seeking out someone like me to start at a much earlier age. So in that mentality, completely different. The other thing being, whenever we're looking at golf specific, it needs to be what do they need to perform better? Not just everyone needs to go down this road and do X and Y. It has to be functional for them. So whenever Kenny came and we're working, it's more on he needs a bigger turn. Again, he was getting a little bit older in his career, losing that range of motion. So what we did was we always had to go through and do a little passive stretch to where he's either doing a little bit of it on his own or holding the static stretch, or even to where I'm engaging and pushing him to work through that range of motion even more to try to pick it up. We then have to turn around and make him engage and use that muscle himself, or it's really not going to show up in his golf game. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of that. So when KP started, he was down with his rotation, tight hips, tight rotation. He's able to turn probably a little bit past this. Club wasn't getting to parallel. He wasn't happy. We saw speed going down a little bit, not hitting it as far. He was at 55 degrees with torso rotation on his right side. After spending some time with him working through that, we're able to get it up to 74, which is honestly, I think, the highest of any of the tour players that I've worked with. So a ton of rotation there. How did we do it? For anyone who is doing any online training with me now, this is going to be a familiar exercise. It's just open books, okay? We get the knees down, we get those locked in place. That way we're stabilizing in through the hips and then folding and opening up, maintaining the hips and shoulders, but trying to get this shoulder down to the ground, okay? Then we fold back up. In Kenny's case, I would actually try to get so you can see a little better. I would actually hold his hip and engage and load up a little further, and you can do this at home in a door frame or a couch, but really get all this to stay still, and then as we turn, I would help that torso drop down, okay? Holding for a couple of seconds. This is nothing earth-shattering, okay? This is basically stretching at its best, right? Any stretch that we want to go through, whether it be the hamstrings or what have you, going down, holding, coming back up, okay? Not a huge fan of it, but I know that's the easiest way for me to improve what he was doing. We then immediately turn around and follow that up with an A-frame stretch, okay? This makes him engage. We're still holding those hips nice and still, and I'm using a club because KP liked the weight to help him feel that open up and turn, feel into that rib cage, down into that back, and just turning so that again, now he's having to forcefully use those muscles to work as well as come back down, and we would do both directions, okay? We had to tackle the hips, hamstrings the exact same way. His hamstrings were really tight. It's always one of those jokes whenever he comes in, he hasn't been at it for a little bit. He's midway down his shin. After about a week, we get it down pretty good. Not as low as I just showed, but he's able to touch his toes, okay? For him, that's huge. He loves it, eats it up. So a lot of different things that way. Now let's switch gears and jump over to Justin. Justin, for most part, is pretty flexible. He does have some trouble areas. Anybody that's followed along with Justin knows that. Had a couple little back issues, tight hips, different things right there. We've got him into a pretty good place with that. By no means are we done, okay? We're always trying to maintain and make things a little bit better, but I can't go off the deep end with everything that he's doing because he's already performing and playing at such a great level, has a ton of club head speed there. With his, it's more dynamic movements, okay? So we have the band, one of, I shouldn't say favorites, but one that he does a lot to help out with the hips is just up from here. We're dropping this down. We can even take that down to the knee and get a nice big turn. That way we're stretching out, plus rotating, plus activating as much different things like that as we can. We go over to the bands, and we start to get into a little bit of power, but again, I'm not trying to get Justin up to 125, 127 club head speed. He has plenty. Is it something that maybe he wants? Sure. Again, who doesn't? But we can take the band, we can go down into our squat, up and turn, and work different directions, having to work in through stability, having to work our different power, again, not necessarily to increase, but to keep him firing and functioning so that we can maintain that nice steady club head speed, okay? So a lot has to do with keeping them, mainly treating them as individuals, right? Don't buy into any golf fitness plan that has you doing the exact same as everyone else. Know what you need, whether it's flexibility, muscle activation, more power. Everyone who messages me wants that immediate more power, but the body's not built for it, okay? Same with those deadlifts, power cleans, a couple of different ones we've been going through. The ankles, the knees, the hips, the back, it all has to work together, but they all have to work individually to a certain range so that we know we can do it safely, get you performing better, and then so be it. If we need more club head speed or if we need more stability, we can branch out and hit those and then build off of that.